commission is for the buyer's agent, the higher it is for the buyer's agent, the longer the days on the market. And so they couldn't get their brain around it now, but I'm like, but look at Marnie. Marnie, what was the average days on the market for your listings when you were representing those high rises and condos there in downtown Ottawa? What was the average days on the market?
We didn't even have a day. We sold them in hours. And we would have 5 backups per house. Like,
Yes.
so you're absolutely, that's brilliant, Todd. I remember Francois McKay argued same thing in Montreal, if you recall, too. And,
oh yeah, it's all, and the reason is because it's a perception. If you want to sell your home, you got to grease the buyer agent wheel, and the answer is no, you don't. You grease the buyer wheel. How can I increase the demand for the home so that buyers will buy it? Buyers agents don't buy jack.
Nope.
And they can't even prevent the buyer from buying anything. As a matter of fact, when buyers agents try to slow down the buyer's activity level or restrict access to homes, the buyer's not dumb. They got access to houses online. They can see them. So that just leads to distrust, I guess I should say, with buyer's agent. All right, now let's look at another thing. So I'm here with Marnie Bennett, one of the top real estate agents in the world. And the topic today was double ending more of your own listings. So when I get hit with that question from Platinum members over the years, my response is quite simply, why do you want to double in your own listing? So let's think that through. Why do you want to double in your own listing? There's only 2 reasons to double in your own listing. Number 1, to make more money. And number 2, so that your seller has a better experience. That's why. Because when you introduce a buyer's agent into the deal and it's your listing, the buyer's agent is the buyer's agent. It's not the seller's agent. So they're working against the seller's interest. As a matter of fact, down here in the good old state of Georgia, is that if you're a buyer's agent, the law says you must represent your buyer's best interest. And the buyer typically doesn't want to give the seller all of their money in whatever terms you want, Mr. Seller, typically. So that means there's work against the seller's interest. So if you're the listing agent and there's a buyer with a buyer's agent on the deal, we've all learned that sometimes it's not the greatest experience in the world, whereas if their buyer didn't have one, we're controlling the situation and transaction for our customer, the seller. Tell me if I'm wrong, it seems to move a little bit smoother.